Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Meta, it's up 2.48%. So Meta, I did call this out before in my video that Meta just coiling up here, and especially with that buyback. Soon as Meta breaks out above 490, you're going to see explosive move to the upside, and Meta can go all the way up to 500 and even higher. And look at this move on Friday. This thing went above and beyond and into closing, holding over 500, and we got a fresh new all-time high, 504.25. And now here on Meta, something interesting happening. A Bollinger Band squeezed, and if you look at my screen, upper Bollinger Band was sitting at 520, now significant drop sitting at almost 500, and lower Bollinger Band also rapidly going up. So this thing actually getting a Bollinger Band squeeze. So I think another explosive move here on Meta coming very soon. And going into Monday's session, 500, that's going to be a strong support to watch. And below that, this gap, 490, 170, and then 490. Now 490 gives up, then watch out. This is actually a fake breakout, and this thing can come back all the way down to right here, 480, and possibly even lower. As long as Meta can hold 500, then maybe some consolidation and then final destination at some point. Once we get this Bollinger Band to expand to the upside, you're going to see Meta going all the way up to 520. And I don't think that's happening next week unless we get some big catalyst and this thing gaps up again. Then yes, that is possible on Meta. On Apple, stock is down 0.60%. Now here on Apple, we talked about it before in my video. A big name like Apple hitting a support multiple times, which is 180, it's going to break. And you can see it was holding right here, right here, right here, and then multiple times right here it was holding 180 and getting a bounce. And finally, Apple took out that support on Friday. 180 is gone, and now the next support came into play on Friday, 177, and now trading at 179.66 at the closing, getting a bounce off of the support, but also below 180. So Apple definitely not looking bullish going into next week. Here on Apple, now it needs to get above 180, and once we get above 180, we also have resistance right here at 181, and then big breakout can happen on Apple above 183, guys. Until then, Apple on a downtrend, and this downtrend can continue, and Apple can come down to 177, and below 177, the next support will be 173, 170, and then 166 on Apple. And if you guys are on X, you can give me a follow right here, and that is totally free. You do not have to go through any subscription or anything, and I do share lots of information on X. And here's a fantastic play, as a matter of fact, two of them right here, AMD, and this was a quick trade. And you can see, guys, I actually got in right at opening, and it was up 76%, and then this thing pushed up again. I got out for break even and then got back in exactly on top. And then this thing came back. Same thing for Snow. This one shorting at 194 today. 180 puts. And this one, now it's trading at, I think, 186. Went through the roof. Another big trade. And AMD, I was eyeing actually pre-market. But luckily, these are lotos. I got out really quickly. And you can see right here, 936 already taking profit on Snow, 66%. And then keeping runners and sold the runners over 130%. Now AMD, guys, you can see right here, it took only about 8 to 10 minutes. Soon as I got in, I think it was 200 and some change, and from there came all the way down to 196. 190 puts went through the roof. It was over 140%, and I was not greedy to hold on, and luckily I got out, and then this thing went back up. So all these trade ideas are available on Patreon, and now that It's first of the month. If you guys want to try out, check out their link down below in the description, and you do get all my setups including live trading. So Nvidia stock is up whopping 4% and looks like we might be getting a fresh new all-time high early as Monday morning, because this thing now trading at 826.57. So going into Monday morning, if this thing actually opening at a fresh new all-time high, then watch out for the support 820 right here to 823, and below that 800. You can see multiple rejection right here at 800. So on a pullback, 800 should be a strong support on Nvidia stock. As long as I would say Nvidia can stay above 800, the next stop, and you can see this Bollinger Band on top expanding rapidly, now really close to 830. So that's going to be the next stop, and then 840 to the upside, because this Bollinger Band would not come down and just expanding and now going up to 830. So that means one thing, this rally can continue all the way up to 830 to 840 this week, and possibly even higher, unless we get a breakdown on Nvidia and this thing gets under 800. In that case, watch out for the support 782 and possibly all the way down to 755 to even 745 on Nvidia stock. On Microsoft, it's up 0.45%, and now it's holding 415 as a support into closing. So going into Monday's session, as a support 415, 413, and then 410, and then this gap 402.29 on Microsoft to the upside. As long as Microsoft can stay above, I would say 413 to 415. The next stop, this previous all-time highs 420.82, and soon as Microsoft actually breaks out above this high, then watch out for a move all the way up to 424 and then even 430. On Google, stock is down just over 1%, and you can see Google getting a massive rejection at 140, exactly like I said in my video, and now it's trading at 138. So here on Google, guys, it's getting really oversold. It's been selling off for past couple days, and now Google next support will be down here 135, but Google can actually break and hold 140. Then watch out for a move all the way up to 140 to 31, and possibly up to this gap just under 145. And once we get that breakout over 145, that is when Google will look bullish for a move all the way up to this gap 148.56. Until then, below 140, watch the support 135, and that's going to be a strong support on Google stock. On Amazon stock, it's up 0.83%. Now, I did call this out before also in my video that as long as Amazon can stay above 173, you're going to see a move all the way up to 180. And this thing actually getting really close to 180 on Friday. High for the day, 178.73. And now trading at 178.22 at the closing. So going into next week on a pullback, you want to watch support right here, 176, and below that, right here at 173, and then we got this gap down here 170.23. Now as long as Amazon can stay above, I would say 176 to 175 rising 5-day moving average, you're going to see Amazon getting up to 180 and possibly even 182, and then maybe a correction all the way back down to this gap 170.23. On Tesla stock is up 0.38%. So Tesla here getting down to 198.50 on Friday, but then again coming back up and holding 200 into closing as a support. So that's gonna be your line in the sand right here on Tesla, and below that watch out for 194, another critical support on Tesla. Now here on Tesla, guys, look at this Bollinger Band on top, and I said it before, this Bollinger Band will expand, and now it's really close to 207. So I think as long as Tesla can hold right here at 200 early as Monday, we could see Tesla closing this gap at 206.77, and from there Tesla can move up even more all the way up to 212 to retest 50-day moving average right here on Tesla. And once we get that breakout over 212, Tesla is gone. You're going to see explosive move all the way up to this gap 225.37 and possibly right up here at 231.29. So get ready for a Tesla rally. This thing can move next week. So Netflix going up whopping 2.72%, $16.42 on Friday, and getting up to the target 620 finally. Now here on Netflix, it's getting far too overextended to the upside. You can see right on my screen, upper Bollinger Band sitting at 615.41, and the stock itself trading at almost 620. So yes, we could see a retracement down to where, and that's going to be a strong support to watch right here, 604, and just below that watch out for 600. And then we also have support at 588, and then we can talk about this gap right here just below rising 20-day moving average, 575.78 on Netflix. But that's a long way down, right? So right now, going into Monday, just watch right here, guys. 604, 600 as a support on Netflix, and I don't think this thing will come down easily 30 bucks. So I would say if there is actually any pullback here on Netflix, any retracement, you need to watch 604 to even 600 on a pullback. Now, as long as this thing can stay above 604 and can break and hold 620, the next stop 630 on Netflix, and this thing can really go up there, because don't forget, all-time highs possible on Netflix as well, because all the other big names are hitting all-time highs, and this thing was trading at what, 700 plus. So yes, this thing can go up all the way up to 700 now that it's trading above 600 right now. On AMD, it's up 5.25% and now trading at 202.64, fresh new all-time high, and also trading above upper Bollinger Band, which is sitting at 193.55. So this thing getting far too overextended to the upside. We could see a pullback immediately next week on AMD. Now, you guys saw that play on AMD I took, and right here, right at opening, I got into puts right here. This thing came back immediately. I was up 76%. I actually put a stop at break even. This thing went right back up. I got stopped out, and then I got back in here on AMD right here on top, and immediately $4 drop on AMD, and that was enough, guys, for 140%. I got out, and then this thing rallied all day, all the way up to 202.64 at the closing. So here on AMD next week, yes, we got that range breakout from this consolidation right here for last maybe 3-4 weeks. And now, yes, this thing can come back and retest this breakout here at 184. And I think that's going to happen. So here on AMD, guys, next week, if there is any pullback below 200, you need to watch 193, this gap. And that's going to be a strong support. And also, if you look at my screen, top of this candle right here, also at 193. So that's going to be a strong support below 200. And soon as that gives up, you're going to see a retest of this breakout right here, which is going to be 184 to 185. Now, AMD can stay above 200. Yes, this thing can push like this again, possibly going all the way up to 215 before getting that retracement down to this previous all-time highs, which is 184. So AMD here, guys, I mean, this is not a mega cap, but you can see how this thing is actually running the market right now. Market cap now sitting at $327.42 billion. And that is because this thing trading over 200 right now. But I think immediately next week, we could see a pullback, at least down to this gap, 193 on AMD. And if you're chasing AMD at this level, just be careful, because anytime we could see a pullback down to this gap, 193. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into Monday.